Hi, my name's Lisa Kenny and I'm going to be filming my Certificate 4 demonstration today. I've got Brooke, who I think's in frame. She's going to be the client today. So prior to filming, Brooke did about a 10 to 15 minute warm up on the treadmill. And I also just organised a few benches. I've got a stability ball as well for us to work with. So first of all, we're going to do the fitness test. Now, fitness test, it's really important that you choose one that's appropriate to your client, to their goals. And so for Brooke, I chose a sit and reach test to monitor her hamstring flexibility. She's got a back issue and her physio has told her she needs to increase her hamstring flexibility. So what I'll get you to do is I'll just get you to take your shoes off, and while you do that, I'll go and get a tape measure and then we'll get started. So it's also when you're running through the fitness test, you can also use this time to build rapport with your client, just check in, see how their training's going, see if their goals have changed. You can also just ask them about their injuries in case you need to modify the training session you've got planned. So here we go. So what I'll get you to do for this test is feet out, toes to the ceiling, and I'll just get you to reach to your toes or beyond, and then we're going to measure the difference between. So this particular test we would do, for today I'll just get Brooke to do it once, but if you were doing it on a client, you would do it 3 times and you would take the highest measure. So just get you to reach. It's different. Good. And then Brooke would get a score depending on how many centimetres beyond her toes. So Brooke got 6.5 centimetres reaching beyond her toes, so her score would be 6.5. Very good, okay. So get you to put your shoes on. Now we're going to progress into the strength and resistance training part of the demonstration. So we're going to be working the chest, the back and the legs. The chest exercise we're going to do is a chest press on the flat bench. We're going to use dumbbells. That's going to work the pectoralis major with assistance from the pectoralis minor and also the triceps. So Brooke, what we're going to do chest press on the flat bench. I'll demonstrate it first and then we'll run through it. So I'll get you to lie down on the bench. I'll get you to put your feet up as well because we're both short. We want to make sure the spine is looked after, not in an uncompromising position. Okay, so feet up. We put the weights up, palms towards the feet. We bring the weights apart and down and then push back up. Now the depth of this one, when you're taking that weight down, you want the elbow to be about level with the shoulder, and you also want that weight to be above the elbow. So think about a 90-degree bend in that shoulder. Elbow, sorry. And then weights to the body, and then sitting back up. Right, so I'll just remind you, we're going to do 1 set, and we're going to do 10 reps. That's it, so weights up. Yep. How does the weight feel? Okay, it's pretty light? Yeah. Okay. now. And 10, very good. So, Brooke said it was a little bit light. So if we were to do another set, which you would probably do most of the time, then we'd just put up the weight and find the right one for her. Thank you. Okay. The next exercise we're going to do is going to be working the back. We're going to do a bent over dumbbell row. I've chosen the bent over row because we're going to use the flat bench. It's going to be more supported for Brooke's back. This exercise works the rhomboids, the middle trapezius, and also the biceps. So Brooke, we're going to do a bent over row with dumbbell. This is going to work your upper back. So positionally, you want to have one arm and one knee on the bench. Your working hand is off the bench. Now with your back, you don't want to be rounded out through the back. You want to sit into your shoulder sockets. You also want to feel like there's a piece of string, so your spine wants to be as long as possible. Weight down, we lead with the elbow. We pull the weight up. So you should feel a squeeze just behind the shoulder blade. And then, normally, obviously, you'd work the other side, but we'll just do one side for today. So if you just want to put the weight up and then just stay in that position. So another thing to think about with this particular exercise is also the spine here, that they're not sagging through the spine and also tilt through the hip. That can be quite bad for their back. So we've got to think about position here in the lower spine and the hips. Okay. Legs is the next one. Now, because of Brooke's injury, I won't be loading up her spine with any additional weight. We are just going to do a split squat. So in a lunge position, we'll stay in the lunge position and we'll do some exercises in that. So this is going to work the quads, the glutes, the hammies. It's going to work calves as well. Also through the core to keep stable and keep balanced. So Brooke, we're going to do split squat, and that's going to work our lower body. Now with this one, the easiest way to start this one is to go down to the ground. You want to have your ankle joint below your knee, so about 90-degree bend, and then we want the same with the knee under the hip. Tuck the toe under, and then stand up from there. Now if you feel a bit wobbly, it's probably because your stance is a bit narrow, so just take that leg out a little bit. Now this exercise, we're going to remain in this position and then we're going to drop down and then back up. So you'll start to feel a burn in the quad and in the glute of the back. Things to think about with your technique. It's really important that this knee doesn't go over the toe. If this foot isn't out far enough, the knee will go over the toe, and that's quite dangerous for our knee. Okay, so I'll get you to just kneel down. That's it. Yep. Maybe just do this. Yep. That's it. Yep. And just stand up from there. That's fair. How does that feel? It's okay. Good. Now, another thing to think about, sometimes when we do this exercise, we think it's a forward and back. Just got to remember that the body's going up and down. Yep. Maybe not quite so deep. Yeah, yeah. So we'll do 10, so that's that 4. That's 5, 5, 6. Good, well done. And then obviously we do the other side, but we won't do that for today. Okay, The next one, part of the demonstration, is the special populations where we've got to modify particular exercises. So the first one we'll do, the exercise was push-up, and we had to modify that for a hypertensive client. So things, really importantly, when you're working with hypertensive clients, you have to keep their head above their heart. Also, exertion needs to be less than normal, so you'd be working at about a 4 to a 6 exertion level out of 10. Also, limit the reps, 1 set usually. If you are doing multiple sets, a longer than normal rest period between sets, so say 2 minutes to 3 minutes between sets. So what I'm doing is, rather than push up, I'm going to modify that to an incline chest press, which is very similar to the flat bench one we did before, but just putting them on that incline positionally is better for their hypertension because of the position of the head to the heart. So, Brooke, you're my hypertensive client, so we're going to be doing chest press on an incline with the dumbbells. Because this bench is quite high, we want to put the feet up. So we can use the rack. So comfortable in the bench, bringing the weights up, and then we're bringing them down, part down. So just as before, same technique as before, we just want to make sure that we've got that 90-degree bend. Okay. I think it's just really important when you're working with hypertensive clients that you check in with them throughout the set, just to make sure that they're not working too hard, because we don't want them to hurt themselves. Right. The next one we're going to do, it was a crunch, I believe. So, crunch for someone with lower back issues. Someone like Brooke. So what I've done is I've taken it off the floor and I've put it on the stability ball for a few reasons. The stability ball will help support the back throughout the movement of the crunch. Also, using the stability ball will ensure that the client is activating their core muscles, which is really important when we're working with back pain, strengthening through that core area. Okay, so we're going to do a crunch and fit ball. So we take a seat and then we walk out. We walk out as far as, so we want the ball between the hips and the bottom of the shoulder blades. Hands wherever they're comfortable with, you want them here. Just relax down. And then it's just a small little crunch up. This thing is shaking already. It's not much movement. Now we want to make sure that the ball is still, so we don't want this. Yeah. And also, if you move too quickly, you'll just bounce off the ball and then you won't be working at all. To come off, you just walk it back up into a seated position. So we'll do 10. And that's it. Well done. Great. Okay. And so concludes this part of the demonstration. Now what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to pause the camera and I'm just going to relocate so that we can film the cardio part of the demonstration. So just a minute.